Corey and the defendant went into the gym, and you'll see what happened next. Because that gym had a surveillance system, and you will see what this defendant did to his son inside that gym.
This man is accused of killing his own 6-year-old child. Today, we will discuss this terrifying and mysterious story with you in detail. The criminal trial of a Barnegat father who stands accused of endangering and ultimately murdering his 6-year-old son got underway this past week. What are the facts? On April 2nd, 2021, 6-year-old Corey Micciolo died about an hour after his father, Christopher Gregor, 31, of Barnegat, brought his limp body into the emergency room at Southern Ocean Medical Center in neighboring Stafford. The child coded twice and died at 5:03 p.m. after life-saving measures were unsuccessful. What was the cause of Corey Micciolo's death? Assistant Ocean County Prosecutor Jamie Schrawn told the jury in her opening statement Tuesday at Gregor's trial that the child died as a result of blunt force trauma. Corey had contusions all over his body, and his heart and liver were lacerated, she said.
After that day, when Corey went back to school during the week, his teacher, his first grade teacher, started to notice some bruises on Corey. She was concerned. She's going to tell you that after March 25th of 2021, Corey was never physically back in person in school ever again. During this time, Corey's mom was also concerned. She had seen bruises as well. She was so concerned that she filed an emergent application with the court to get custody. On April 1st of 2021, Corey's mom picked him up for her only visitation she had had that week, or during the week, which was 3 hours, and she brought him to a pediatrician. Corey spoke to the pediatrician. The pediatrician saw Corey's bruises. She too was concerned. So she sent Corey and his mom to a local hospital nearby. Ultimately, Corey was seen at Jersey Shore University Medical Center. And while at Jersey Shore, doctors looked at Corey's body. They checked his lungs. They checked his bones. They checked his labs. And shortly after 1 o'clock in the morning or around there, Corey was discharged. He was medically cleared for release because there was nothing wrong with Corey's lungs. There was nothing wrong with Corey's bones, and his labs were normal. Corey was fine except for his bruises.
During the state's opening statements, New Jersey prosecutor Jamie Schrawn told jurors, healthy 6-year-olds don't just die in the course of a business day, adding they'll be firmly convinced Christopher Gregor murdered his young son. What does the defense say? Gallucci, Gregor's defense attorney, has sought to paint Breanna Micciolo as a less-than-ideal parent herself. He told the jury she had signed her son out of Community Medical Center in Toms River at some point before he died, against medical advice, even though she was told Corey might have sepsis as a result of complications from pneumonia. Yes, the Treadmill incident and an unrelated game of football caused Corey's bruises, Gallucci said, but he insisted the Treadmill incident did not cause the child's death. When you see that video, you're going to be horrified, you're going to be mortified, Gallucci warned the jury, making no excuses for his client. Nevertheless, that's not what killed Corey, he said. Corey's death had absolutely nothing to do with that treadmill, Gallucci insisted. Micciolo had Corey when she was 17. After a paternity test confirmed Gregor was the father, he took custody of the boy and brought him to his family's home to live with them. While Breanna Micciolo had visitation rights, she temporarily lost them at one point because of drug problems, Gallucci said. On cross-examination this past week, Breanna Micciolo acknowledged a past drug addiction, but said she had sought treatment. and her visitation rights were restored. Nevertheless, on the same day her son died, but before she learned of his death, she admitted that she had texted a boyfriend asking him to get her methamphetamines.
Dr. Larkin found that Corey's blood results from Southern Ocean showed incredibly high white blood count, high glucose, and high lactic acid, and said that's all indicative of sepsis caused by an infection. The same sepsis that Jersey Shore Medical Center told Breanna Micciolo, do not take this child from the hospital. He possibly has sepsis. We need to evaluate him. Chief Medical Examiner here in Ocean County, his evaluation. You're going to hear evidence. Sepsis, infection, not murder. A CAT scan ordered after Corey's death by Dr. Larkin, evidence will show, showed the possibility of pneumonia. Pneumonia is an infection, and an infection causes sepsis. So the Ocean County Medical Examiner, the first person to evaluate Corey, which, by the way, is 12 days after the Treadmill. 12 days. You're going to hear testimony that when he gets to Southern Ocean Medical Center, there's no report of any additional bruising since March 20th. You're going to see there's no signs of, Ms. Schroen said, I hit with a baseball bat, stepped on, I don't know what she said, whatever she said. You're going to hear evidence that doesn't show any proof of any of that. As a matter of fact, their own chief medical examiner, who did the autopsy, was inconclusive and could not come up with a cause or manner of death yet, pending investigation and toxicology reports. And he said, their chief medical examiner said that the injuries sustained to Corey were all due to life-saving techniques. He left the hospital. He was distraught. He was upset. He told the nurse, I need privacy. And he left. You're going to hear testimony that he called his parents immediately. Said Corey passed. They, Dave and Carolyn, you will hear, went immediately to the hospital and called the Stafford Police Department to tell them their grandson had just died in the hospital. You need to do an investigation here. They reported it. What did Breanna and Rebecca do immediately? Talk about him leaving. Rebecca and Breanna immediately turned to social media, where they tortured and crucified that man, posting a picture the same day of him in a prison outfit behind bars, wishing him death. They formed a chat group on Facebook dedicated to Corey, but evidence is going to show it really wasn't dedicated to Corey. It was dedicated into harassing the Gregor family. So much so, you're going to hear testimony that both Breanna and Rebecca were arrested in Monroe, New Jersey, and pled guilty for harassing Dave and Carolyn Gregor by protesting in front of the house, putting up posters on
Objection,
telephone.
Judge.
2021 at approximately
The mother of Corey Micciolo took the stand Tuesday before opening statements and identified the 6-year-old's father, Christopher Gregor, who is accused of murdering him. Gregor allegedly abused the young boy to death by forcing him to run on a treadmill at high speeds. Breanna Micciolo reported Gregor for abuse over 100 times before the child died. Micciolo nearly broke down in tears while recalling the last moments she shared with her son.
8:41 p.m.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Now calling your attention to April 2nd of 2021 at approximately 3:30 p.m. Did you have a phone conversation with the defendant in regard to your son Corey?
Yes.
And can you tell the court what the defendant said in that phone conversation?
He told me Corey wasn't feeling good. That he was lethargic and he was throwing up and his legs hurt. He was just sick. And he asked me for Corey's insurance card and to send it to him.
And did the defendant tell you where he was taking Corey?
He said he was going to the hospital. He was taking Corey to the hospital.
And did he tell you which hospital he was going to take Corey to?
No.
Now, Breanna, you just viewed video A. Can you tell the court who is present on that video?
Myself, the defendant, and my son Corey.
And who is the adult male that is located on that video?
The defendant,
And who is a child who is located on that video?
Corey.
And can you tell the court where are you located in that video?
I was in my car.
And calling your attention now to, I guess we'll go with video B, if we get permission to publish.
Please go ahead.
Just tell me when to stop. I'll have to fast forward through some of it.
Now, Breanna, you just observed video B. And can you tell the court who is the adult male located in that video?
The defendant.
And who is the child located in that video?
Corey.
And have you been to that gym complex?
I have.
And does that accurately depict the gym complex at the Atlantic Heights Clubhouse?
Yes.
And does it accurately depict what it looked like on March 20th of 2021 as shown in this video?
Yes.
Your Honor, in regard to videos C and D, I believe that there would be the same proffer by the witness.
Those are redundant for the purpose of this hearing.
They are, Judge. They are videos that follow one another in a sequence.
Mr. Gallucci, any objection to not playing those other videos at this hearing?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you. Any further questions?
No, Judge. Thank you.
Mr. Gallucci.
Good morning, Ms. Micciolo.
Good morning.
So, the recording on April 2nd, 2021, when did you first become aware of that recording?
When Dennis Mitchell called me and asked me about it,
Okay. And do you recall when that was?
I would say a few months later.
Okay. So it was still in 2021?
Yes.
And what, if anything, did he tell you?
He just asked if I knew there was a recording the day that Corey passed away.
And did you know that?
No.
Do you know how that recording happened then?
It seems like it was by accident.
So you accidentally recorded the drop-off of your son?
Yes.
Okay. Had you ever done that before?
Early on in the custody battle, yes.
Okay. So, but early on when you did that, did you do it on purpose?
Yes.
Okay. So this time you're saying it was not on purpose.
It was not.
And when you became aware of it, did you recall that conversation with your son?
I think so, yeah.
So what do you recall?
I remember it, yeah.
Okay. Did you remember it after you heard it?
Yes.